that we don't have a Brexit PM? Are they right to be puzzled? Is it a problem? Or is she the right woman at the right time?
Well, I mean, we've got a Prime Minister who won the greatest political decision of our lifetimes, was on the wrong side and gets rewarded with being Prime Minister. I mean, it's a funny old game, politics,
and then if
isn't
we
it?
look down the batting order, let's talk a little bit about the Chancellor, the same.
Chancellor exactly the same.
Philip Hammond.
And that's right, because no one's ever heard of him, you're right. And it was true. No one's ever heard of him.
Right, Mrs. Hammond.
Well, I can't grant you that. No, it's... look, we had a political revolution on June the 23rd that a majority of the people that voted in a high turnout voted against what they were told by the Bank of England, the International Monetary Fund.
The £7 million leaflet that went through everyone's door.
Yeah, the one I chucked back through their door in number 10. I enjoyed doing that. Return to sender. Despite all of that, we had this revolution. The problem is that with the exception of Cameron and Osborne, all the same people are still in charge. They've just been sort of moved around the chessboard a little bit. And that's my concern. I look at America, where the revolution's complete. Trump doesn't just win, he now appoints people from outside the world of politics to get on with running the country. So perhaps this is unfinished business. Perhaps we'll come to a general election in 2020 with more radical change needed. I'm not sure.
What happens in France next year? You've met, and I think you've dined with Marine Le Pen.
I know Marine Le Pen.
She's painted as an ogre by the media. Is she an ogre?
No. I
How
don't think
dangerously right is she?
She's quite left, actually, economically, hugely left economically. I mean, to win, she needs the trade union vote. And her economic ideas are very, very socialist.
But she could get that vote because Fillon is characterised as a sort of Thatcher. And if I'm a French bloke or woman, I want my 35-hour week, and that's it.
No. I mean, look, I think, right now, I see her winning the first round, and I see her scoring low 40s in the second round. Right now. But who knows what's going to happen in the next 6 months? Who knows what's going to happen to the Italian banking system? And after 2016, you'd be a fool to say it's impossible.
What would Le Pen mean for France, Nigel?
Well, they'd leave the euro, and they'd have a referendum on Brexit, on whether France leaves the European
But what's
Union.
your sense of a Frexit? Is there support among regular French folk?
I think it's interesting, actually, that when you travel around Europe now, wherever you go, I find people who think exactly the same thing. It's growing. Opposition to this is growing. But clearly, as I've said to you, the Mediterranean doesn't suit the euro. It's beginning to look like the Franco-German economic alliance is coming apart too.
Is she quite good fun to be around, Marine Le Pen?
Oh, yes, she is. I mean, look, let me just be absolutely clear about this. I've never said a bad word about Marine Le Pen. I've never said a good word about her party. All right? That is my position on this. I think she has tried to make things better within the Front National. She's got rid of people who held genuinely extreme positions. I don't agree with her economic analysis at all, or her view on trade, or many other things.
So she's not France's Nigel Farage?
Well, it's completely different. But she does believe in the sovereignty of France. I mean, my guess is if she does win, that would accelerate the end of the project.
How long's the project got?
Well, if I knew the answer to that, I'd put a big bet on it, wouldn't I? But it's a matter of years. But, everywhere there is massive opposition to this. Genuine democratic opposition bubbling up on the right, the centre and the left of politics. It simply cannot hold, and you know what? It should not hold. And what Klaus and I were talking about in Stockholm the other week was a very positive vision for what Europe could be. Namely, democratic nation states with incredibly close relationships. Yeah. Trade, reciprocity of student exchanges.
We could call it a common market.
How about
that for an
there's all sorts of things we could do.
Talk us through Italy. What's happening?
I think Europe's a wonderful continent. I think this project's been a huge mistake for it. Italy is fascinating. There's been no growth in Italy now for 20 years.
God.
Absolutely. I think the euro has been a disaster, especially for a younger generation. We have a former stand-up comedian called Beppe Grillo on 32%. We have the Northern League, who are, again, very Eurosceptic on about 14%. It is only a matter of time before we have a majority government in Italy that wants to leave the euro. It's coming.